Oh, what a beautiful child, the cleaner exclaimed, gazing at the prince in wonder. He's so adorable. Yes, he is, Queen Choma replied, smiling. Please just wait outside with him until I am done. But when Queen Choma emerged from the washroom, the cleaner was nowhere to be found. She has disappeared and they started searching the area, calling out for her baby and the cleaner, but there was no response. Where is my child? She demanded, her voice ringing in panic. Where is the cleaner who was holding him? The nurse and staff joined in search, even sending someone to the cleaner's home, but she had already packed her belongings and left. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Iri, King Emeka and Queen Choma's love story was one for the ages. Their bond was unbreakable, and their love for each other only grew stronger with each passing day. King Emeka was so much in love with his queen that he would not entertain any negative remarks about her. He was her rock and her protector and her everything. I love you, Choma, King Emeka would often say, his eyes shining with adoration. You are my everything. I cannot imagine a life without you. Queen Choma would blush and smile, her heart filled with joy. I love you too, my king, she would reply. You are my everything. I cannot imagine my life without you by my side. Their love was pure and true, and the kingdom prospered under their rule. But as the years went by, the kingdom began to whisper about the lack of an heir. King Emeka's advisors, chiefs and high-profile individuals urged him to consider taking another wife to ensure the continuation of the royal lineage. But King Emeka would not budge, refusing to share his throne or his heart with another. Queen Choma, aware of the pressure on her husband, took his hand and looked into his eyes. My dear king, do not worry about the whispers of our people. We will have a child, a beautiful child who will inherit your throne and carry our legacy. Have faith in us, in our love, and in the gods who have blessed us with each other. King Emeka's face lit up with hope, and he drew his queen closer. You truly believe so, my love? I do, Queen Choma replied, her voice filled with conviction. We are young, and the gods are on our side. Our love is strong, and it will bring us a beautiful child. For 5 long years has passed, and the kingdom's anxiety grew, but Queen Choma's word remained strong in King Emeka's heart, and a reminder of their unwavering belief in their love and their future. And then the news came. Queen Choma was with child. The kingdom erupted in joy, and King Emeka held his wife closer, thanking the gods for blessing them with a child. 9 months had passed, and Queen Choma had finally given birth to a very beautiful boy, bringing immense joy to the kingdom and her husband. She was a devoted mother, so protective of her child that she couldn't even allow the maids to touch him. 3 days later, Queen Choma took her son for immunization. Insisting to carry him herself, she asked her maid to wait in the car and went into the health center alone. As she waited for the vaccine, she felt a sudden urge and a need to use the restroom. The nurses directed her to the bathroom, but when one of them offered to hold the baby, Queen Choma refused. Please, I will take him with me, she said, cuddling her son in her arms. As she entered the restroom, her son began to force and squeal, making it difficult for her to manage. Just then, a cleaner was passing by, and Queen Choma handed the baby to her, instructing her to wait outside until she finished. Miss Yoma, the cleaner, was childless and had always longed for a child of her own. As she held the prince in her arms, a sudden and overwhelming desire to keep him as her own washed over her. She gazed into his innocent face and felt a surge of maternal love. In that moment, she made the fateful decision to keep the prince as her own, forgetting the consequences of her actions. Oh, what a beautiful child, the cleaner exclaimed, gazing at the prince in wonder. He's so adorable. Yes, he is, Queen Choma replied, smiling. Please just wait outside with him until I am done. But when Queen Choma emerged from the bathroom, The cleaner was nowhere to be found. She was frantic and searched the area, calling out for her baby and the cleaner, but there was no response. "Where is my child?" she demanded, her voice ringing in panic. "Where is the cleaner who was holding him?" The nurses and staff joined in search, even sending someone to the cleaner's room, but she had already packed her belongings and fled. Meanwhile, the cleaner had indeed taken the prince and made her way out of the health center through the back door. She climbed over the fence and ran as fast as she could. Finally, she reached her house, small hut on the outskirts of the kingdom. Breathing and trembling, she packed some of her belongings and fled, leaving behind her life in the kingdom. Back at the health center, Queen Chioma was beside herself with worry, her mind racing with worst-case scenario. The kingdom's joy had turned to chaos, and King Emeka was summoned to the health center amidst the uproar. As soon as King Emeka heard of the news of his missing child, he turned the town upside down. He railed his guards and searched every nook and cranny, leaving no stone unturned. The kingdom was in an uproar, and the king's anger and desperation were palpable. "Find my son," he thundered, his voice echoing through the streets. "Find him or face my wrath." The search continued, but the prince and Chioma seems to have vanished into the thin air. The kingdom in chaos, and King Emeka's heart was heavy with grief and worry. His love for his queen and child knew no bound, and he would stop at nothing to ensure their safety and happiness. Meanwhile, back at the palace, Queen Chioma was frantic with worry. She had never been separated from her child before, and the thought of someone else holding him was unbelievable. King Emeka, equally distraught, rallied his guards and launched another search to find their missing son. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The kingdom was in an uproar, and the king's anger and desperation grew with each passing day. But as the search continues, King Emeka's behavior towards Queen Chioma began to change. He grew distant and cold, his love for her seemingly fading with each passing day. The queen sensed her husband's dissatisfaction, tried to reach out to him, but he pushed her away. "You were supposed to protect our child," he growled, his eyes blazing with anger. "You failed me, Chioma. You failed our child." Chioma had never seen him like this before, and it broke her heart to see the love of her life and the love they once shared slipping away. As the search for the prince continued, the kingdom was in chaos. The king's advisors and guards were at a loss, unable to find any trace of the missing prince. It was as if he had vanished into the thin air. But Chioma, the cleaner, knew the truth. She had the prince, and she was determined to keep him as her own. Chioma had never imagined that her life would take such a drastic turn. She had always been a kind and compassionate person, but the desire to have a child of her own had overwhelmed her. Now, as she lived in a new city with the prince, she found herself acting as his mother, showering him with love and affection. Despite the circumstances of his arrival in her life, Chioma couldn't help but feel a deep connection to the prince, and she had always wanted a child to love and care for, and now she had one. She pushed aside the guilt and focused on being the best mother she could. The prince, who she had named Obinna, brought immense joy to her life. His innocent smile and curious nature made her heart melt. She spent her days playing with him, teaching him new things and teaching him to grow. Chioma's neighbor and friends in the new city marveled at her devotion to Obinna. They would often comment on how lucky the child was to have such a loving mother. Chioma would smile and thank them, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. As Obinna grew, Chioma began to notice the striking resemblance he bore with King Emeka and Queen Chioma. She often caught herself staring at the prince, wondering about his true parents and the life he was meant to live. But she pushed those thoughts aside, focusing on the present and the life they had built together. Despite her good intention, Chioma couldn't shake the feelings that she was living a lie. She had stolen a child, and no matter how much love she showed him, she couldn't erase the fact that she was not his true mother. 3 years had passed since the prince's disappearance, and King Emeka's behavior towards Queen Chioma has changed drastically. He no longer treated her with the love and adoration he once had. Instead, he was cold and distant, still blaming her for the loss of their son. Queen Chioma had tried everything to win back her husband's love, but nothing seemed to work. She was heartbroken and felt like she was walking on eggshells around him. One day, she discovered she was pregnant again. She was nervous but also hopeful that this new child will bring her and King Emeka closer together again. She decided to tell him the news, hoping it would bring a smile back to his face. But King Emeka's reaction was not what she had expected. He was still angry and bitter, and he told Queen Chioma that the only way she could regain his love and forgiveness was to give him another son. He bluntly stated that if the child she was carrying turned out to be a girl, the marriage would be over. Queen Chioma was devastated. She felt like she was being forced to produce a male heir to save her marriage. She decided to go for an ultrasound to find out the gender of her baby, hoping against all hope that it would be a boy. But fate had other plans. The ultrasound revealed that she was pregnant with a girl. Prince Chioma felt like her world has come crashing down around her. She started crying uncontrollably, knowing that her marriage was now on the line. She felt trapped and scared, not knowing what the future held for her and her unborn daughter. King Emeka's ultimatum had put her in a difficult situation, and she didn't know how to escape the situation. After a few months of Chioma's pregnancy, she finally went into labor. The king was accompanied by his royal guards, hastily escorted her to the hospital. His anxiety propelled. As they arrived, the medical team swept Chioma away to the labor room, leaving the king to pace around nervously. With each passing moment, the king's anticipation grew. He couldn't wait to hear the news of the new heir, his mind fixed on the hope of a male successor. The royal guards stood watch, their faces expressionless as the king pacing intensified. Inside the labor room, Chioma's cry and groan filled the air, her labor progressing rapidly. The medical team worked tirelessly, their efforts solely on ensuring a safe delivery. "Push, Your Majesty, push," the nurses encouraged Queen Chioma. After a few more push, the queen finally gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. But instead of the expected joy, Queen Chioma bursted into tears. "It's a girl," one of the nurses whispered to the other. Meanwhile, in the next labor room, Sarah was also giving birth. "She's crowning," her nurse exclaimed. Sarah gave birth to a healthy baby boy. "Yes, it's a boy," the nurse cheered. Queen Chioma, still crying, overheard the commotion. "What's going on?" she asked her nurse. "The other woman, Sarah, just gave birth to a baby boy," the nurse replied. Queen Chioma's eye lit up with desperation. "Can I speak to you for a moment?" she asked the nurse. "Of course, Your Majesty," the nurse replied, stepping aside. "I will give you a large sum of money if you switch the babies," Queen Chioma whispered urgently. The nurse looked taken aback, but tempted. "I will talk to my colleagues," she said. The queen nodded, her eyes pleading. A few minutes later, the nurse returned with her colleague. "We'll do it," they said in union. Without hesitation, they switched the babies. Queen Chioma's baby girl was taken away and replaced with Sarah's baby boy. Just then, King Emeka busted into the room, beaming with pride. "My son," he exclaimed, taking the baby boy from Queen Chioma's hand. Queen Chioma forced a smile, her heart heavy with guilt. "Our son, my love," she said, playing along. Sarah, still weak from labor, was unaware of the switch, and her life was about to take a drastic turn. As the day went by, Queen Chioma struggled to come to terms with her decision. She had switched her baby girl with Sarah's baby boy, all to save her marriage and appease King Emeka's desire for a male heir. But the guilt and shame weighed on her conscience. Meanwhile, Sarah was overjoyed with her new baby girl, unaware that she wasn't her biological child. She named her Ada and showed her love and affection. Enemuma, still living in the new city with Obinna, the Wiru prince. King Emeka, thrilled with his new son, named him Onyeka and paraded him around the kingdom, boasting about his male heir. But Queen Choma's smile hid a deep sadness. She knew the truth and it was eating away at her. Queen Choma, even though she had switched the babies, couldn't shake off the feeling of emptiness. She longed to be part of her biological daughter's life, to watch her grow and flourish. She devised a plan to keep tabs on Sarah and Ada from afar, using her trusted aide to gather intel and send her daily updates. Photos and videos of Ada's milestone flooded her inbox, but it wasn't enough. She yearned for a personal connection, a way to be part of her daughter's life without revealing her true identity. And so, she orchestrated a daring rescue, saving Sarah and Ada from a staged kidnapping attempt. Queen Choma parked her car a few blocks away from Sarah's house, her eyes fixed on the small dwelling. She had been watching from afar, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Her phone buzzed, a text from her aide confirming the fake kidnappers were in position. As Sarah and Ada emerged from the house, Queen Choma's heart raced with anticipation. She dialed the number. The kidnappers sprang into action. They swooped in, grabbing Sarah and Ada and tossed them into a nearby van. Queen Choma leaped into action. Springing towards the scene, she fought off the kidnappers, her trained guards intervening just in time. In the chaos, she rescued Ada, cuddling her in her arms. For a moment, she closed her eyes, savoring the feelings of holding her biological daughter close. With the fake kidnappers subdued, Queen Choma led Sarah and Ada back to their house. The fear in their eyes was evident, and Queen Choma played the part of the hero, offering comfort and support. As they entered the house, she couldn't help but notice the stark poverty that surrounded them. Sarah hesitated when asked about her husband, but Queen Choma's kind smile put her at ease. She revealed her struggle as a single mother. Choma's heart ached and went to her daughter. She promised to help, starting with a scholarship for Ada and a new shop for Sarah and a comfortable home. As Queen Choma finished speaking, Sarah's eyes swelled with tears of gratitude. She felt a surge of affection for the Queen's kindness and generosity. Without thinking, she began to kneel down to thank Queen Choma, but the Queen quickly stopped her. No, 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 my dear, Choma said with a warm smile. There is no need for that. From now on, you will be the sister I never had, and Ada will be the daughter I never had. We will be family, bound by love and loyalty. Sarah's eyes shone with happiness as Ada's world wrapped around her like a warm embrace. She felt a sense of belonging that she had never known before. Choma opened her arms and Sarah stepped into them, feeling a sense of homecoming. As they parted ways, Queen Choma smiled, her eyes stuck on Ada. From this day forward, Ada will be my goddaughter, she said, her voice filled with warmth. I will be here for her always. Queen Choma returned home, her heart overflowing with joy and her mind racing with the success of her scheme. Now my dear daughter will be mine to keep soon, she thought to herself, a sly smile spreading over her face. Now I have done part of the work. I will shower Sarah and Ada with affection, and Ada will naturally prefer me over Sarah. She won't even realize when she's moving in to stay with her godmother, me, her real mother. Her smile grew wider as she envisioned the future. I will have my daughter, my husband's love, and my place as queen. And to secure my legacy, I will ensure Ada and Prince Onyeka become the best of friends. When they come of age, I will request Queen Onyeka to marry Ada, and my daughter will be mine forever. I have killed two birds with one stone, she thought, her mind racing with the cleverness of her plan. She let out a dangerous smile, her eyes sparkling with malice. I am sorry, my gods, but I have to be selfish. My daughter's love is worth any cost. I can't lose both my children, she whispered to herself, her mind racing with the memory of her first child's adoption. I've already lost one. I can't lose other two. The pain and fear of losing another child are clear in her voice, and her determination to keep Ada closer is evident. As time passed, Queen Chioma's affection for Ada grew exponentially. She showered her with gifts, attention and love, making Ada feel like the center of her universe. Sarah, though grateful for the king's kindness, began to feel like a spectator in her own daughter's life. Ada, now the apple of the queen's eyes, started to spend more and more time in the palace, leaving Sarah to manage her newfound business and home alone. Meanwhile, Prince Onyeka, once the focus of Queen Chioma's attention, began to feel neglected. He would often try to get his mother's attention, but she would brush him off, too caught up in her newfound love for Ada. The prince grew jealous of the attention Ada received, feeling like he was being replaced. King Emeka, oblivious to the dynamic at play, continued to boast about his male heir Prince Onyeka, but Queen Chioma's priority has shifted. She would often cancel meetings and events to spend time with Ada, taking her on lavish outing and buying her expensive clothes. Though Sarah was grateful for the queen's support, she started to feel unease about the situation. She would try to spend quality time with Ada. The queen would always find a way to intervene, making it difficult for Sarah to bond with her own daughter. As the days turned into weeks, Queen Chioma's obsession with Ada grew stronger. She began to make decisions without consulting King Emeka or Sarah. Much to their dismay, the palace staff started to whisper about the queen's strange behavior, how she was prioritizing a common child over her own prince. The tension between Queen Chioma and Sarah began to rise. Sarah felt like she was losing her daughter to the queen's affection, while Queen Chioma couldn't understand why Sarah wasn't grateful for the opportunity she was providing Ada. In the king chambers, King Emeka, Chioma, my dear, I've been thinking about Prince Onyeka's future. I want him to attend the University of Azura. It's the best in the land. Queen Chioma, yes, my lord, that's a great idea. Ada will also benefit from attending such a prestigious institute. King Emeka, what does Ada have to do with this? I am talking about our son's education. I think it will be wonderful for both Ada and Prince Onyeka to attend together. They will learn so much from each other. Chioma, focus. This is about our future and not some commoner's child. I want him to study at Azura, not playing nursemaid. Ada is a bright and talented child, my lord, and I am sure she will thrive at the University of Azura, just like Prince Onyeka. Enough. I don't want to hear another word about Ada. Can't you see I'm trying to secure our son's future? But my lord, Chioma replied, Ada's future is just as important, and I think, silence, I will not sway from my decision. Prince Onyeka will attend Azura, and that is final. But you know she is my goddaughter, my lord, and just like a daughter I never had. Chioma, my dear, you are pushing me too far. Ada may be your goddaughter, but she is not a member of the royal family. Your loyalty should be with our son and our kingdom, not some commoner's child. My lord, you are misunderstanding me. As Ada's godmother, I have a responsibility to ensure her well-being and future. And as queen, I have a duty to show compassion and kindness to all our subjects, including Ada. She may not be of the royal blood, but she's a talented and deserving child, and part of our family in my heart. King Emeka's expression softened, his voice gentling. Chioma, my love, I forgot that Ada holds a special place in your heart. Very well, I will consider allowing her to attend Azura University alongside Prince Onyeka as a token of our appreciation for your unwavering devotion to our kingdom and our people. And so, Ada and Prince Onyeka's friendship flourished at the university, delighting Queen Chioma. She envisioned their marriage, solidifying the kingdom's unity. During holidays, Ada spent more time at the palace, rarely returning to Sarah's house. Sarah complained, but Ada's words were always brought smiles to her face. However, the tide turned when Prince Onyeka's behavior shifted. He grew aggressive, accusing Ada of stealing his mother's love. One fateful day, their confrontation escalated on campus. "You are a nobody, Ada," Prince Onyeka sneered. "You are just a commoner trying to take my mother's attention away from me." Ada stood still, her voice firm. "I'm not trying to take anybody away from you, Onyeka. I'm just trying to be a good friend." Prince Onyeka's face reddened. "You are not a friend. You are a manipulator. You are using my mother's affection to get ahead." The argument drew a crowd. Ada's eyes swelled with tears as Prince Onyeka's insult pierced her heart. Just as he raised his hand to point at her, Obinna, a 400 level student of the university, appeared, his eyes blazing with anger. "Leave her alone, young man," Obinna thundered, his voice echoing around the campus. "You have no right to treat her like that. I won't stand by and watch you mistreat a woman." The crowd gasped as Obinna stood up to the prince. Ada's tears dried, replaced by gratitude towards the stranger who defended her honor. Little did they know that fate had brought them together, unaware that they shared a bond deeper than they could ever imagine. Prince Onyeka paced back and forth in his hostel, his anger and frustration boiling over. He pulled out his phone and dialed the queen's number, his voice trembling with rage. "Mother, Ada has been insulting me in school lately, and I won't stand for it." Queen Chioma listened patiently, her expression not changing. What did she do, Onyeka?" Prince Onyeka exaggerated. "She said I'm a nobody and she doesn't need my friendship." The queen's eye narrowed. "I will handle it, Onyeka." She cut the line and immediately dialed Ada's number. "Ada, my dear, what's going on between you and Onyeka?" Ada explained. "He's been spreading rumors about me, Your Majesty, and I stood up to him. He's not been kind to me lately." The queen's face darkened. She called Onyeka back, her voice firm. "Onyeka, behave yourself. Ada is under my protection and I won't have you bullying her. Win her heart and not scorn her." The Prince Onyeka's voice rose in defense. "Why do you favor a nobody over me, your own son?" The queen's anger fled. "You are the nobody, Onyeka, not Ada." She took a deep breath, composing herself. "My apologies, Onyeka. But know this, Ada is my chosen future daughter-in-law. Reconcile with her, or you will not receive a penny from me nor the king." The line went dead, leaving Prince Onyeka sighing with resentment. Prince Onyeka's pride swelled. He dialed Ada's number, his voice laced with false humility. "Ada, my dear, I apologize for my behavior earlier. I was wrong to treat you with disdain. My mother has made it clear that we will be married and I want us to start afresh." Ada's voice was cautious. "What do you want, Onyeka? You've made it clear how you feel about me." "I am willing to put aside our differences, Ada. You should be grateful my mother wants me to marry you. It's an honor, really. You will be a princess. Ada, you should be grateful that a cute prince like me wants to marry you, a commoner." Ada scoffed. "You think I should be grateful that you, a prince who is only interested in his own reflection, wants to marry me, a commoner? Please. I am not some damsel in distress waiting to be rescued by your royal presence. I have my own life, my own dream. Don't ever call my number again. I don't want anything to do with you. Your mother may want us to marry, but I refuse to be forced into a relationship with someone who doesn't respect me." Onyeka's face twisted in anger, his pride wounded once more. "Fine, have it your way, Ada, but if you refuse to marry me, I will make sure my mother stops paying your school fees. You will be back to the slums where you belong, and no one will ever remember your name. You are nothing without my family's support. Ada, nothing." Ada's eyes flashed with anger. She couldn't bear to hear Prince Onyeka's degrading words anymore. She ended the call, her heart racing with frustration and anger. Ada's eyes brimmed with tears as she dialed the queen's number, her voice shaking with hurt. "Your Majesty, I can't continue this charade. I can't be friends with Onyeka, and I don't want you to continue paying my school fees. I don't want to be tied to him or your family anymore. The queen's voice was surprised. Ada, what's wrong? What happened? Ada's world tumbled over. He's cruel and manipulative. Your Majesty, he thinks he can control me, but I won't be held back. I want to forge my own path. The queen tried to interrupt, but Ada continued. No, Your Majesty. Please, I appreciate your kindness, but I can't continue this facade. Stop paying my school fees and let me go. The line went dead and the queen tried calling Ada back, but was already on another call with Obinna, her new friend. Obinna, I can't take it anymore, Ada sobbed, pouring out her heart to him. Prince Onyeka is for suffocating me, and I feel trapped. Obinna listened attentively, his voice calm and reassuring. Ada, you are strong and capable. Don't let him define your worth. You have so much potential and I believe in you. Ada sniffed, feeling sense of relief wash over her. Thanks, Obinna. Just talking to you makes me feel better. Obinna's advice was like a balm to her soul. Ada, remember that you are the architect of your own destiny. Don't let anyone else build your life for you. You have the power to create your own future. The call ended, leaving Ada feeling hopeful and determined. The queen couldn't get Ada on the phone. She seethed with anger and frustration. Ada had ended the call, leaving the queen feeling powerless and defeated. The queen's face was so red with anger as she dialed Onyeka's number, her voice fierce and commanding. Onyeka, you fool! Stupid boy! Don't you dare destroy my plan. Don't you dare lose Ada's affection. You must win her heart over or you will face my wrath. The line went dead and the queen's murmur filled the room. How dare he try to ruin my efforts of the past year? I want him to marry Ada so she will forever be under my watchful eyes, but he's turning the tables on me. If he doesn't win her over, I will make his life miserable. Her eyes narrowed, plotting her next move. I will not let him outsmart me. I will show him who is in control. The queen's mind raced with schemes, determined to ensure her plan came to fruition, no matter the cost.